Is traveling really for everyone, or are there some people that are better off just staying at home? Just before we dive into this video, I just wanted to say please like and subscribe to this channel if you guys want more videos like this and to be able to support me. Okay guys, so listen, since I've been a child, I've always wanted to travel. Like, sadly, I was one of those kids that really did not get the chance to travel at all. My parents did not go anywhere, so I did not go anywhere as well. So that's why I vowed to myself that I would be everywhere when I grow up. Like, I would travel everywhere to every country. I don't care. I just want to see everything. Like, I only saw like the fairy tale aspect of it, but I didn't realize what the actual cost, not just money, but the reality of travel that most influencers will not talk about. People will always try to convince you why you should travel. But I'm here to tell you the reality, the true and deep reality. And honestly, if you're not ready to deal with these things that I'm going to be saying, then maybe you should just stay home. So let's dive in. First, costs. You get what you pay for. Okay. So my first trips were Cuba and Dominican Republic. And I remember, like, at that point, I was just ready to go. And I remember when it was my time basically researching resorts for those two countries, I did not know anything about like stars or the way like ratings worked when it came to certain like hotels and a website. So I remember my Cuba ticket was like $800 and my Dominican Republic was $1,100 for all inclusive. And they were all like 4 stars if I remember correctly. So I was like, in my head, I thought like 4 star was like, okay, well, it's not luxury, but it's gonna give me the, like the aesthetic vibes. Like, when I went to Cuba, I was gagged. My room was so dusty, like I almost died. And I thank God for the fact that like the people that I was with had like allergy medicines in order for me to take to not die, because the amount of dust that I was exposed to like was crazy. And Dominican Republic, the resort was okay, but obviously like the room was not it, to be honest, guys. Like, and that's when I realized that I had a lot to learn after this trip to not make the same mistake. And I cannot sweat enough how important it is for you to do your research. Do not base yourself off of costs, because 4 star does not mean what I thought that it meant. Like, some resorts, the 4 star and the 5 star have a big difference. And some other resorts that I've spoken to some people about, they would tell you that there was like little differences between a four star and a 5 star, but they still felt like they made like a very, very good investment. So that's why it's very important for you to be really on top of it and definitely like make your research. If a nice room matters to you, do your research before assuming. Some people that do those reviews about those resorts, obviously sometimes some of them, sorry, are paid to do it, so they won't give you the real deal. Or some people will book the cheapest resort and not care if there's roaches in the room. Because they literally have the mentality of like, okay, well, I'm not going to be staying in the room the whole 7 days, so it doesn't matter if there's roaches in the room. So that's why you kind of have to know yourself when traveling. Like, what are the things that you can negotiate on? Like, what are the things that you don't mind if you don't have? So that's why moral of the story is, if you have high expectations but a low budget, you need to decide if you're staying home, girl, because you don't want to just book a trip just to complain and wish you were back home. So, yeah. Social media is one big cap. Guys, I all of my people that love TikTok, that love YouTube, I don't know who needs to hear this, but when planning a trip, it's not always a smart thing to trust social media. Travel influencers will only show you the best of the best. But when you arrive to some of these places that they are literally hyping you up to come see, you're gonna be shocked. When you're scrolling your phone, you see blue waters, you see luxury hotels online, but they don't show you the side of the country that is completely different. And one of the things that pissed me off the most is when people will, I think I saw a video last time, like, of this woman who posted like a TikTok saying, this is the Dubai that they show you, and this is the Dubai that they don't show you. And people in the comment were like, no, that's not Dubai. That cannot be Dubai. And that pisses me off because like I went to Dubai and I'm thankful enough that I was able to see like the areas that people show on social media. But I was also able to see like the reality of Dubai. Like not every, not every place in Dubai is straight out of a movie, guys. Not everywhere in Thailand is straight out of a movie. Like when you get there, you are gonna realize that some areas are not polished, and that's normal. Like those people come from developed countries and they act like other countries' realities are jarring. They act like their country do not have rough areas. And to all of, I'm Canadian, I live in Canada. To all of my Canadians, like, if we're gonna be real with each other, there are not so nice places in Canada. Like there's places that you will be scared to walk through in Canada. There are places that are really, really bad. You literally have to be careful so you don't walk on drug needles, or places that are filled with homeless people, places that are not clean in Canada. So that's why like I'm confused to why some people feel like, okay, well, when I go to this foreign country, there shouldn't be parts of it that are not nice. And they act like, oh, well, ew, like why don't they show this side of, anyways, like I'm from the Caribbean, so I already know like what to expect. Like in the Caribbeans, yeah, there's blue waters, there's beautiful places, but there is areas in the Caribbean that are not so nice. And some of them, it's not that they're not nice, it's just the reality of the people living there. Like somebody living in the outskirts of the country, you're definitely not gonna pass there and see that it's on the same level as a 5-star resort, you know? Like even in the US, like people coming from the US, you cannot tell me that there's no places in the US that are worse than the places that I be seeing in the Caribbean, that are not nice, that are filled with homeless people, that are filled with junk, or just not nice, you know? So I just feel like if you're going to another country just to judge the less fortunate areas, it's just better for you to stay home. If you're going to a country with the social media mindset and you are expecting only to see like beautiful, like your own expectations of what beautiful is, then you should just stay home, girl or guy. Like, yeah, you should just stay home. If you travel with the wrong people, listen, if you travel with the wrong people, your trip at times, this is not like a certain thing. Like there is some exceptions to every rule, but there are some people that you literally travel with that will make you feel like your trip is over even before it started. I cannot sweat this enough. You are who you travel with. And if you don't choose wisely, you might end up regretting the whole trip, guys. Are you the type of person that likes to go on excursions? You like to jet ski your life away? Whenever somebody says bungee jumping, you're all for it. You want to jump out of an airplane? You are gonna suffer if you end up traveling with friends that just want to get drunk and stay at the resort all day. You're gonna be miserable. And if you're with the wrong people, you're literally gonna feel like you should have stayed home. Some people, some group of people that you travel with go to another country and they think they can do whatever they want. They act reckless, they break the law, and they get drunk and put everybody and themselves in danger. And next thing you know, you're in a foreign country in a jail cell because of somebody else's foolishness. And I'm like looking at this news story about this young woman that went to Dominican Republic and she's missing right now. They are looking for her. And for me, this is a very, very big thing. Like, you really have to be careful who you travel with, guys. Like, a person that's not able to deal with their liquor, handle the liquor, can put you in grave danger. You know what I mean? Or just being with a group of people that don't want to look out for each other, you know? If you're going to travel with these kind of reckless people, listen, it's better for you to stay home. It's better for you to stay home. Or if you're not going to stay home, it's better for you to just travel solo, because listen, who you travel with is definitely, definitely important, you know? This is one of the main reasons for me that somebody should just stay home. This pisses me off, guys. And as I said, like, I'm gonna keep it real on this channel. If you're an entitled traveler, it's better for you to stay home. Listen, I have seen so many people think that because they're foreigners, they should not respect the country that they are going to, or they feel entitled just because they are bringing in more money to that country. If you're this kind of person that feels entitled just because you're a foreigner, just because you have more money than the people that you're traveling to their country, then you should just stay home. I've seen so many people straight up disrespect cultures, act like they own the country, and some people, they will travel to another country and they get mad because the locals don't speak English. Why are you traveling to a country where the first language is not English and you're upset because the person does not speak English? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Like, technology has advanced so much that I feel like it's your due diligence to download an app or download whatever you want to download or learn the language before you go. How is it you're arriving to Colombia and you're mad because people speak Spanish and you're not able to find somebody that speaks English? Would you be happy if somebody came to America or Canada or wherever you are and be mad because you don't speak their language? Would that make sense to you? Other people refuse to follow customs. Like, I remember going to this nail shop in Thailand and this woman was like taken aback because they told her to remove her shoes. And I was like, girl, like, you're in these people's country. Like, it's not about you. It's about the fact that these people, when they get to a shop, they remove their shoes. So remove your shoes. This is just the minimum of respect that I be saying that some people do not have. And if you don't have that minimum of respect for where you're going, you're not ready to travel. Like, your foreign money does not make you superior. Have some respect for all of the countries that you go to. And if you feel like you're not gonna have some respect for those countries, then just don't go. Save yourself the trip. If you are not ready to immerse yourself in other people's culture, stay home, because you're gonna feel like you're visiting the same country over and over again. I think I'm at like 5 all-inclusives right now. And if it weren't for me going out of that all-inclusive, I cannot tell you that there's a difference. Like, every all-inclusive that I've went to, other than like the people's skin color, obviously languages changing, every all-inclusive is the same. Yeah, of course, there are all-inclusives that will offer more services and whatsoever, but all of these all-inclusive vacations feel the same. The only difference that I could point is when I got out of the resort. So, but if you really want to see something different and you really want to have like your full money's worth, I would definitely like suggest to at least try to learn about the culture. At least try to get out of the resort if you're going to do all inclusives, because otherwise all destinations will feel the same. You should not travel if you do not have travel insurance. Listen, you're going to play yourself not having travel insurance. And this is something that I'm guilty of, guys. You know, like I've traveled to multiple places without having like travel insurance. And I just felt like, oh, well, yeah, like, you know, like it's not, nothing is going to happen to me. Why do I have to waste this money? I don't care how safe you think your trip is or your trip is going to be. If you do not take travel insurance, you are taking a huge risk. One hospital visit abroad, one emergency flight home, and your bank account is literally done. For my people that love to do excursions, listen, I love to do excursions and I love to do wild excursions. Like I like to zip line, I like to jet ski, all of those crazy adrenaline things. Like it's so easy for you to get injured, and most of the times like it happens so quick, you do not even have the time to think about it. Like if you cannot afford travel insurance, then you should really think if you could afford the trip, guys, because travel insurance is really not that expensive. Honestly, like I don't think it even costs you like 10% or 20% of the trip. So if you're able to get it, just get it, because you do not want to be abroad suffering from the pain that you're feeling because you injured yourself or you ate something that was bad, and feeling pain of the bank account telling you, why did you do this to me? What have I done to you for you to do this to me? So definitely get travel insurance. Next thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is do not travel if you're going to ignore the dangers of a country, because shit, you're going to learn the hard way. So I was literally talking to my friend, I think like 2 days ago, and she has a plan to go to Brazil, and she was explaining to me how like in Brazil there's like signs that if you do them, you could literally get killed. And some foreigners have gotten killed in Brazil because they threw like a gang sign that they did not know that was a gang sign. Like most of these signs that she told me were signs that like in Canada or America, it's normal for you to do those signs. Like it's not like the gang signs that you'd be seeing on like TV or whatsoever. So literally, like no matter where you go, you need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to make your research. You cannot ignore danger. Like even in your own country, like even in Canada, I'm not fully secure. Like I know some people are always trying to act like those big countries, America, Canada, are like super secure. We have nothing to worry about. But in my opinion, that's not true, because where I'm from, there's shootings, there's stabbings, there's deaths, there's homicides. You know what I mean? Like you literally, like when you're traveling, you need to be aware of your surroundings. Like in some countries, there's people that are gonna pickpocket you. There's scams. There's unsafe areas. There's gang. It's real. Just because you're on vacation, it doesn't mean bad things can't happen. And that's why I think it's very, very important for somebody to do their research before they go to another country. And just because you're a tourist, it does not mean that you're like, nothing can touch you. You know what I mean? So guys, if you're not ready to take precautions, you're not ready to acknowledge dangers that some countries may have, then you're not ready to travel. And it's better for you to stay home. I don't want to see you getting hurt. If you're barely affording the trip, just stay home. Even if it's all-inclusive, guys, like when you get to that all-inclusive, okay, everything is paid for, it's nice, it's beautiful, but are you not gonna go out? Or, okay, if you're one of those people that do not want to get out of the resort, like maybe I'm overly like protective and overly like paranoid, but I'm not going anywhere without money. Like imagine I have an emergency. I am one of those people that honestly, like, I think it's always better to be safe than sorry. It's like, better Nobody wants to be in a situation where they feel like they're at the mercy of somebody else, even when you're traveling. Like, there's no fun in being in a beautiful place but being too broke to do anything. It's gonna be torture. Like, that's why I cannot sweat this enough. Like, if you're going to places like Dubai, Maldives, Italy, like those places that are expensive, if you know that you do not have the money, then girl, boy, I think it's better for you to stay home, because you're just going to be torturing yourself. You are not able to give yourself the absolute experience, you know? And I'm going to do another video of cheaper places to go. But yeah, like, if you're going to go to those expensive places, then it's very important for you to have money. Like, if you're gonna travel, just make sure you have enough money to actually enjoy it. Like, don't think about don't only think about, okay, I'm gonna get the plane ticket money, I'm gonna get the hotel money, and whatever happens happens, because most of the time this does not go well, guys. Okay, so we're at the end, guys. Like, look, travel is very amazing, like, but day traveling is not for everybody. If you're not ready to respect cultures, you're not ready to step outside your comfort zone or properly plan, then you might want to wait. You might want to wait when you're ready. And you know, like, I know, like, right now social media is pushing traveling, and I know, like, this is making a lot of people think about, oh my god, I should travel. But again, if you're ready for a real adventure, book that flight. But if you're not ready, just don't say I didn't warn you. So, if after everything I've said you still feel like you're ready to travel, then comment under this video and say I'm ready.